Kia ora and welcome to Business Your Way. I'm Sandra Julian, your host and business transformation coach. This podcast is your go-to for strategies and mindset shifts to grow and scale your service-based business. No more constant hustling, just unstoppable, scalable growth with a soul-aligned essence. Join me in each episode as we uncover the secrets behind successful businesses and provide actionable insights. Let's transform your business your way and unlock the growth that you've been dreaming of. Alrighty, let's dive into this episode. Welcome to another episode of Business Your Way. Today we are taking a look at the importance of refreshing your daily rituals on a seasonal basis. But before we go there, I wanted to share some exciting news about my own personal business journey. When this episode is published, it will be exactly 1 month since I did the deal and sold my business event agency. After 23 years in operation and many ups and downs and lots of challenges and wins, I felt it was time to put my exit strategy into action. But if I'm being totally honest, it wasn't a decision I made overnight. There was quite a bit of pondering and letting go that I had to work through before I put that exit strategy into motion. I mean, as you can imagine, after 23 years of nurturing and growing a business, I was at a place of feeling very comfortable with what we did and how we did things in the business. And so getting to this point of putting the exit strategy into place, it actually took quite a bit more internal work and severing the ties and letting go in my mind before I actually put anything into motion. So at the beginning of this year, I knew I was ready to actually put some action into place. But I had spent a good part of last year, or probably the previous 18 months, really working through letting go. The attachment to my business was so strong that letting go took time. I had to work through it. I had to work through all the beliefs that I'd had about my business, all of the feelings that were coming up for me when I thought of somebody else operating my business. So that took me a good 18 months. And that whole process, that's probably a whole nother episode that I can dive into that with you. But what I can tell you is when I was at this place in my business, earlier this year, my weekly and daily rituals were so dialed in. I had done a lot of work creating balance between my work and my life. And I finally felt like I was in sync, that I had a great balance between both. Because in my earlier years in business, I had the flexibility to balance motherhood, business, and life. I had the flexibility I needed, but I know looking back that I sacrificed a lot of things in order to bring my business to the space of feeling that it gave me what I needed to fulfill my life. It reached a financial point where it sustained the life that I wanted. And there was a point, a few years ago where I knew something had to change and that I couldn't go on giving all of my energy to my business. I wanted to feel like I had a bit more freedom in my life and my business wasn't all consuming. So I did a lot of work, a few years ago now. And part of that work was to put in place weekly and daily rituals and get those dialed in order to give me the freedom that I was looking for. I had the flexibility, but I didn't necessarily have the freedom, and I was still sacrificing quite a few things that I didn't want to, but felt I had to. But since selling the business, my weekly and daily rituals are a bit all over the place. They feel really chaotic and they feel like they don't have any flow about them. And maybe that's overstating how it actually is, and maybe that's a bit dramatic, but they definitely don't feel as settled as they once were. And now I usually revisit my daily rituals twice a year at the change of a season. But this time, I'm not only thinking about my daily rituals from a seasonal time of the year, but I'm also moving into a new season of business, which is why I thought this episode would be timely. So I can share with you what I'm currently going through, how I'm thinking about my daily and my weekly rituals, and how when you have them dialed in, they really do serve you and they give you a lot more balance and clarity in how you operate and how you get more flow with your day. And I don't know about you, but I know for me, I experience shifts in energy and momentum when seasons move. So, when the season goes from warmer weather to cooler weather, I feel this shift in my energy. My daily rituals look different in the winter months compared to the summer months. So, whether you're shaking off the winter blues and embracing a vibrant energy of spring heading into summer, or whether you are preparing to hunker down for the winter months as autumn surrounds us, now is the perfect time to revisit your daily rituals and to reflect on the change of season in your life. What's going on in your life as the seasons change? I have become a firm believer in the power of purposeful daily rituals. And as a full focus certified pro, I've seen firsthand how establishing and refreshing these rituals can have a really profound effect and a profound impact on your productivity, your efficiency, and the mindset that you bring to your day. However, the most common resistance to creating rituals or habitual rituals is this misconception that having a set routine stifles your creativity and stifles your energy flow. Whereas I think in reality, once you've established a routine that works for you, your life, your situation, it operates automatically, freeing up your creative energy for other tasks where you want to put that creative energy. So rather than stifling your creativity by creating a daily ritual, what it does is it opens up space for more creativity. Because what you'll find is your daily rituals are the things that you do every day anyway, whether you do them unconsciously or you have some slight awareness to what you do. You know what needs to happen, but you don't really realize that you do it in the same way every day. So, creating a good ritual does require some intentionality. Well, it actually requires a lot of intentionality. And how I recommend that you think about this is that you pay attention to what you already do regularly. And then you take a look at what is missing or what are you doing that feels sporadic or chaotic. And then think about how you can create more intentionality with what you're doing. So, if you want to create a daily routine because you don't have any, so you just fly out of bed in the morning and you just do the first thing that comes to your mind, or, there are some things that you have to do and you just do those things, but it feels all over the show. It feels chaotic. It feels stressful at times. This is where I think a daily morning routine can be super beneficial. Now, you can have daily routines for any time of the day, any pieces of your life. You can have a morning routine, an evening routine, after school routine, like you choose. But really, you have to be intentional about it and think, what do you already do in your day? A daily routine could take the stress and the chaos away from what is already happening. And to start to think about your daily routine is just take notice of what you're doing. So in the morning, take notice. What are the things that you do in the morning? Is there anything that you do first, then second, then third, then fourth? Do they happen in a specific order? You're not realizing it. But when you pay attention, like, I do these things and I do them every morning. So now those are the bones of a routine, right? So then get intentional. Write that routine down. Think about what is missing. What is the order that makes most sense for that morning routine to take place? And then once you've written that down, allocate some time to it. Like, does your morning routine from get out of bed to get out the door in the morning, does that take 90 minutes? Does it take 2 hours? What's that time frame look like? And then trial your routine very intentionally. Do the things in the order that you've written down in your routine. And throughout this podcast, I'm going to use a morning routine as the example. But like I said, you can create a routine for any part of your day that you want to dial in, that's got some consistency about it, that would take less brain power for you to implement if you created a habit around it. Which is the whole idea of a daily routine, is that you are habit stacking so you can release the brain power that it takes to do certain things in your day. So you're conserving energy by doing things habitually and reserving that brain power and that energy for the more important decisions that you have to make in your life. So once you've crafted a ritual tailored to your unique process, it becomes second nature, and it frees up your mental bandwidth and leaves your brain with the energy to put elsewhere, to put to those more important decisions, or to put towards the things that you enjoy doing. Conserve your brain power for those pieces in your life. So here's a situation I want to ask you about is, do you realize that you brush your teeth at the same time every morning and you don't even realize that you do it? So imagine the efficiency of the task of brushing your teeth. It's one of those daily tasks that you do on autopilot. You might brush your teeth when you get out of the shower in the morning, and then you might do that again before you hop into bed of an evening. Is that something that is on autopilot for you? Before you know it, it's a done task. You haven't even thought that you need to do it. You just do it. You don't have to decide. Your body and your brain just jump into action and it gets done. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about your daily ritual. So establishing these daily rituals, they prompt immediate action. And what they do is they lead to speedier work and increased efficiency, because you're not having to think about it. You're not having to think about what next. The prompt of one action prompts the next action, and your body and your brain just get into action. There's no thinking required. And the two daily rituals that I think everyone should have are a morning ritual and an evening ritual. Now, ritual, routine, you'll hear me use these two words interchangeably. Same. But either way, they're a set of habits that you have for your work week mornings and your work week evenings. And I say work week because that's the time of our week where it's likely to be the same routine day in, day out. Especially if you're working, the kids have got to go to school. Monday to Friday is usually quite routine. Weekends might look differently. So you might have a Saturday morning routine, because Saturday mornings are sports days for the kids. So, what does your Saturday morning routine look like? It might look slightly different to your work week morning routine. But these are the times of the day that are likely to be similar week in, week out. I wanted to jump in here really quickly and ask you for a big favour. If you are loving this podcast and this episode, I would be grateful if you could share it with a friend. Or even better yet, jump over onto Instagram and share it on your stories. Don't forget to tag me, I'm sandrajulian.co. That really is the best way for others to find out about this podcast, and I thank you in advance. Alrighty, back to the episode. Your morning routine might look something like this. You wake up in the morning, and before you even realize it, your ritual kicks into gear. You brew your favorite cup of coffee, you sit down and you journal for a few minutes to clear your mind, then you move your body, you shower, you dress, you get the kids ready for school, you all eat breakfast, you head out the door, drop the kids at school, head to the office. When you arrive at work, you're ready to go. There's no decision fatigue because that morning routine is the same day in, day out. So every day you get out of bed, you brew the cup of coffee, you sit with your journal, you clear your mind, you exercise your body, you shower, you dress, kids are ready, you all eat breakfast, school run happens, it's done. There's no thinking about what next. Everything just happens on autopilot. And just think about how clear your mind will be and the creative flow that you will have when you sit down to start your workday. One of the most powerful aspects of daily rituals, it's their ability to help us foresee and navigate potential challenges before they even become roadblocks. So if you think about it, when you have a set routine, you're essentially creating a blueprint for your day. And this blueprint allows you to identify the potential pitfalls and plan the strategies to avoid those pitfalls. So when there is something that is going to come into that particular time of the day that isn't part of your normal routine, but it's something that has to happen on a particular day, on that given day, in the middle of your usual morning routine. And this is like, throwing a spanner in the works, but you see it coming. And now you're like, all right, how am I going to fit that into my daily routine? And then you prepare for it. So rituals require us to anticipate those potential obstacles and then plan around them, making them self-correcting over time, right? Because by proactively addressing potential issues within our rituals, we can adjust and refine so our daily rituals are custom made just for your life, just for you and your life. So you then get to decide, does that little spanner in the works, does it need to now be part of your morning routine, or is it just a one-off that you need to navigate around? And how are you navigating it? Are you dropping one of the things in your morning routine? Or are you waking up just a little bit earlier so you can fit that one extra thing on that one day into your morning routine? So think about rituals as a kind of autopilot that gets smarter and smarter and smarter the more you use it. There's a lot, of chatter about AI and how AI can get smarter and smarter and smarter. The more we use it, the more that it gets to know us. Your morning routines are just the same. It's about personalizing our own autopilot and training ourselves to get smarter and smarter around how we are utilizing our energy and conserving our brain power. And rituals are one of the things that help us with this. So we are no different to the AI when you think about it. And just like how pilots use checklists to ensure that every aspect of a flight is accounted for before they even take off, we're using our morning rituals as that checklist for our day-to-day tasks. And in this way, we're not only executing our routines, but we are refining them continuously. So we are creating and training our own AI and creating our own autopilot sensors and checklists. And I think the beauty about routines is that they evolve with us. As we grow and our circumstances change, our rituals can adapt to meet our new needs and goals. And this adaptability makes them incredibly powerful tools for sustained success. And I am talking to this from very personal experience. You know, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I've spent quite a few years dialing in my daily rituals so I can conserve my energy. I am an introvert by nature, so I get my energy from quiet time and alone time. So I notice that I need to conserve my energy for when I need to do extroverted activities. So a morning routine definitely has helped me in my life think about my energy flows. What can I put on autopilot? And where do I absolutely need to spend my energy? And these rituals have changed over the years as my circumstances in my life has changed. So rituals are highly adaptable, and that just makes them really powerful tools for your sustained success. And that's really where I'm at right now. I can feel the shift in my energy as autumn draws us closer to winter. I've got less enthusiasm to get out of bed in the morning while it's dark and go for a morning walk. So I'm currently refreshing my morning routine and my evening routine for the winter season and thinking about the things that I want to focus on and be more intentional about those things moving into this cooler season. I'm also looking to refresh my daily work startup and shutdown rituals now that I've sold my business and I'm working across 2 businesses currently. So when I sold my business, I agreed to stay with the new owner for the next 12 months for 20 hours a week. And that works for them and it works for me because the motivation for selling my business was so that I could have more time to build my coaching practice. My coaching practice has been a bit of a side hustle up to now, and I haven't been able to give it the energy that I've wanted to give it because my event agency has needed all of my energy. But now I've sold that business and I can work 20 hours a week. I've relinquished half of the things that I needed to pay attention to. And for my 20 hours a week, I've just got some key activities within that business that I need to focus on. So, as you can imagine, what worked before the sale of the business isn't going to work now that I've sold the business. It's not like I have to change everything completely, but I have to get into the flow of a new work startup and a new work shutdown ritual. And even my daily startup and my daily shutdown rituals are going to look a bit different. I'm not sure exactly what they look like yet because I'm still in this transition phase of trialing. Like, what does my Monday startup ritual now look like? What does my Friday startup ritual now look like? Because those are the 2 days of the week that I work less hours. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm still working pretty full days. And so my daily rituals, they're just going to need a little tweaking. So I'm working through, what does different daily rituals look like? How does my week as a whole look with these different daily rituals? I've got lots of things to think about. And this is why I thought this episode would be really timely. I'm in the middle of refreshing. I haven't landed on what the new daily rituals look like. I've adjusted slightly and now I'm trialing. Is this working? These are the questions that I'm asking myself frequently. What would I like to do more of? What would I like to do less of? What would I like to put into my morning ritual that I haven't had there before? One of the key focuses for this time of my life is my health, my fitness, my well-being. I want to give those things more time and attention. I'm looking at my lifespan and the longevity of my lifespan. And I know that if I want to live for a lot more years to come, I need to nurture my well-being. You know, as we age as humans, there are more things that we have to give our focus to that in younger years, we just had all of the energy in the world. As we move into our older years, our more mature years, there are some things that we have to pay more attention to, and our bodies, they need more nurturing. And I definitely know moving my body, focusing on my strength and my well-being and my health is something that I need to nurture a lot more as I age. So just so I can function the way that I want to function in life and live a full life, I've still got lots of things that I want to do in my life. So as I'm thinking through my daily rituals, these are the things that I'm thinking about. So I encourage you to think about, what is the phase of life that you're in? What are the things that you have to do? What are the things that you want to do? How can you put these two things together into a daily ritual, into a habit stack that you can do on autopilot so you feel more fulfilled, so that you are reserving your energy, or you're putting the energy into the things that are important for you, and you are putting the things that you have to do on autopilot. You're training that autopilot part of yourself to get smarter and smarter and smarter at these things. So I'm allowing myself over the next month to get into the flow of what my new workday startup, what my new workday shutdown might look like. And I'm also realizing that some days might be different to others, and that's okay. So what do these things look like for you? What does a daily startup ritual, what does your morning ritual look like? Then what does your work startup ritual look like? So the first half an hour of you landing at work, what does that look like? What are the things that you should be doing or need to be doing for those first 30 minutes in order to set your day up for success? Then at the end of your workday, give yourself 30 minutes. What are the things that you could be doing in your final 30 minutes of your workday where you can wind up your workday and then move into your personal life without it consuming your brain, like without your brain still moving at 100 miles an hour with all the things that going on at work while you're trying to, pick kids up from school and do after school activities or get dinner ready or sit and have dinner with a friend, whatever that looks like for your stage of life. What are the things that you can do as a daily work shutdown ritual so you can shut that part of your day down and move into the next part of your day with a clear mind, with a energy for that next part of your day? And then what are you doing at the end of your day? What is the routine that you have so you can settle into a good night's sleep? The better sleep we have, the more energy that we have for the next day, the more refreshed we're going to feel for your next day. So what are you doing at the end of your day to wind down, shut down, and be ready for a good night's sleep? I really encourage you to think about those 4 routines in a day. And then if you have an after school routine, what does that look like? If you have a dinner time routine, what does that look like? Are these things that you can also create rituals or good routines around so you don't have to think too hard? One of the other things that you can put into your daily or your weekly planning is your meal prep. So as a busy working mother, business, kids, Is there one day that you can sit down and plan your meals for the week? And then they just come into your dinner time ritual. You don't have to, start thinking about dinner at 3 o'clock. What am I going to have for dinner? What am I feeding the kids? What do I have in the cupboard? Do I need to stop at the supermarket? You want to avoid having to spend your brain power on thinking about that every day. That's exhausting. So plan your meals one day a week. Go to the supermarket, get all of your ingredients, and then your dinner time ritual can be calm and stress-free and routine because you know what you're going to have. You've already planned it. Now you just have to go through the motions to make it happen. So all of these different kind of things, you will have different routines for the different phase of life that you're in. And it could also adapt seasonally. So as I wrap up this episode, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your own daily rituals. Are they serving you well in this current season of your life? Could you benefit from refreshing your daily rituals to better align with your goals and your priorities for the phase of life that you're in? I just really want you to remember that establishing purposeful daily rituals is the key to preparing for the season ahead and operating at your full focused potential. If you've got any questions about how you might go about setting up your own daily rituals, please feel free to reach out to me. In the show notes, there is a link to Ask Me Anything. It is a link so you can leave me a voice message or a text message or even a video message. I'm here to help you in any way that I can. So if you want to chat about daily rituals, I'm here. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Business Your Way. If you found this episode valuable, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. As always, keep dreaming big, planning well, and doing the work to grow and scale your business your way. Before you go today, if you are ready to make some bold moves in 2024, I invite you to book a discovery call with me. Let's have a chat about your unique needs and explore how my Being Boss Pahi Puawai coaching program can elevate your business to new heights this year. I encourage you to act quickly though, because my prices are set to increase when I complete my business coach certification, which I am currently doing. So if you want to seize the opportunity to get some coaching with me at a ridiculously low price, then head on over to sandrajulian.co/coaching, book that discovery call, and let's have a conversation about how we can transform your business in 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in to Business Your Way. Remember, your success is my mission, and that is what I'm here for. Until next time, stay inspired and keep being the boss and building your business your way.